Hi, I'm back, Jason Debley, with another review. This time, a Tennessee whiskey, another bottle that I had on the shelf this summer. Went well at barbecues. Uncle Nearest, 1884 small batch. So, there's a backstory with Uncle Nearest. Uncle Nearest is really his name is Nathan Green, and he was a formerly um, enslaved person back when there was slavery in the U.S. And the story goes, and the history is, that he taught a young Jack Daniels, or Jack Daniel, how to make Tennessee, or what we know is Tennessee whiskey, famously Old Number 7, Jack Daniels. And if you go on, National Public Radio has a podcast called How I Built This. And it's really good, with a guy on there named Guy Raz, and he's a really good host. And he interviews the maker of Uncle Nearest and how she developed the brand and did the research. And so I encourage you to go listen to that podcast. It's really good. And you can read the history I think the Wall Street Journal a couple of years ago did a detailed article on this brand and the Jack Daniels owners, about not maybe tensions, but fears that Jack Daniels had about this brand. It's worth a good read if you can get past the paywall. So that's all I know on the historical front. I'm here to make new history, see if it's any good. This is a Tennessee whiskey, and we don't know a lot about the mash bill. I think the mash bill has to be minimum 51% corn. Then you have rye and malted barley in a different percentage, and who knows about wood management, but it has to be new charred oak, I believe. The ABV on this is 46.5%. We're going to sip it neat, just because we can. And it doesn't have an age statement, but it's aged for a minimum of 4 years because it's Tennessee whiskey. The price point on this in Canada was around $110, so it's a premium product. And I should just put my glasses on here. Smoothest whiskey in Tennessee. I was just looking at the label to see if they actually declare it as Tennessee whiskey, because Tennessee whiskey and bourbon have to adhere to particular laws and requirements. And yeah, it says distilled and aged in Tennessee, but it doesn't come out and say it's Tennessee whiskey. It's definitely whiskey, but anyway, that's a minor point. So Uncle Nearest 1884 small batch whiskey is what we're going to review at a wonderful 93 proof. And I'll take off the Hugh Grant glasses, and let's do a little tasting note here. Okay, on the nose, you're dealing with American whiskey, and that's not a bad thing. It's not overly floral. It's really kind of mysterious, to be honest. I'm searching here. Okay, oak, pine wood, pine needles. It's different. It's a little spirity, but not hot, not offensive. Okay, so we're gonna try this now. It's good. This is solid. At 46.5% alcohol by volume. I'm impressed with the blending, the wood management that they've done here. If you like Tennessee whiskey, if you like American whiskey, you really should check this out. So what are we tasting? Pineapple butterscotch. A little bit of burnt toast. Buttered burnt toast. Cocoa. I wouldn't say raisin, but some kind of dark dried fruit. Pretty mysterious. Mahogany. I mean, you can't taste mahogany, you can't taste leather, but if you could taste them, might conjure up an idea. You'd be getting a bit of that here. Finish is long. It's good whiskey. It's complex. If you're a Tennessee whiskey fan or a bourbon fan, or you really like American whiskey, I would invite you to try this out. It's pretty good. The distillery, I think they distill it under contract to some other place, so I don't know much about that side of things. So it's a relatively new whiskey. It's not very old. I think they launched this brand, I can't remember, but 8 years ago maybe. I think they started bottling it. It's good. It's different. Interesting. Provoking conversation. A very good lubricant to conversation. It's got a very spearmint, pine needle aspect to it. So if you like that, you're going to like this. It kind of has a hint of like what you experience in a martini. So it's very, it's different. This is, it is good. So, and I haven't added water, and I think if you add water, then you bring in totally new nuances to it. I tend to like it neat. So there you have it. Uncle Nearest 1884 small batch whiskey. Worth checking out. Price point is quite steep in Canada, $110 in the US. It's a domestic spirit. You Americans price your own stuff really well. I'm sure it's much, much cheaper, but still a premium spirit even in the grand old US of A. Okay, thanks for tuning in. I think I'm done for whiskey reviews tonight. Did 3 in a row. I did eat some white bread in between to try to cleanse the palate and some water, but I'm familiar with all of these and thought I would get caught up. Going to try to be more diligent. A viewer was asking me to review Johnnie Walker Black Label, 12-year-old classic blended scotch. Wanted to know if it's not as good as it used to be, so I'm going to try to do that next. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good night.